with me. Etienne, each minute you sweep is an expenditure of your precious time on this earth. If you cannot do this thing as if you love each moment of your life, no matter how large or small the task is required, think again. It hurts me to see you so empty in your task when there is so much life to live. Do you see me doing everyday tasks with less than fullness? To love life is to bring your life force to every bit of your life, no matter how trivial the task. Make what you are doing worth your very life force, which is probably the essence of who Edouard was, and which I still aspire to.
Amen. About Edward, and you set the scene, the tone and the scene of the chateau so beautifully, but I think every reader will fall in love with Edward. And you write about you write about his flair and how this flair was so attractive to women, but also to young boys
Oh my
who
God.
just really wanted to emulate this fantastical superpower of a human. So you wrote about him. He tossed his cape over one shoulder to free his arm and, grasping the carved railing with both gloved hands, paused his ascension halfway up the staircase, taking full advantage of the impression of having been on a mad ride to rescue us orphans from our folly. He, as we are, all, indeed a player upon the stage, aware that whatever part he is given must be taken on with as complete devotion as possible. He could do no less than make himself the finest actor possible because to him the play represents the expression of the divine playwright's deepest creativity. For the rest of us, we seem to walk about the world playing our part unaware of the drama we are a part of. Talk about him. Talk about these roles that we are playing in our lives.
Well, that was his his real philosophy. He loved drama, but he loved it from because as you said, he insisted that we are playing a part and we must play it to the best of our ability as actors. And I think it was this notion that we're actors, uh, which by which to not take yourself too seriously, and yet that playing the part of your life and of the role that you have was really important. And what that scene you described, where he's thundering up the stairways and he's cursing us for being maggot ridden, urchins and fit for the dung heap. Uh, there's a phrase there which, uh, if you if you could see that uh, boys, instead of running from this, were running towards this as if his rage was not something to be missed, tells you everything. And he drew us in like a magnet because we just had to see what on earth was this one about. And knowing that his rage, which he leaned into in full drama, was not harmful to us, but in fact was like shaking us to kind of how to shake some sense into these boys. Uh, and that the performance was so important and it really went deeply into us. Um, so he was quite a figure. Uh, later, I think in writing Past the Past, which is more about my coming of age as Etienne, I began to see more less idealized and more the human side of Edouard. Um, but in about time, it was I saw him. We all saw him full of wonder about who he was.